2025. Come on, is it just me or is this year on a speed lane? Yes, you're welcome to Sacred Unions and Desires. Tonight, our webinar is on Sensate Focus Exercises, the shortest way to have multiple orgasms. And we are talking not just for the woman, but for the man. But we are focusing on the woman first. Listen to this. Listen to this. God will not do for you, or let's say prayer will not do for you what good sex do for marriage. Prayer will not do for your marriage what good sex will do for your marriage. So please do not ever think that one will take the place of the other. No way. Each one has its place. God is a God of order. He is a God of order. So each has its place, and one never takes the place of the other. If you fall short in one, you suffer the consequences of that one. So if you fall short in prayer, you suffer the consequences. If you fall short in having a good sex life in your marriage, you will suffer these consequences. So last week we couldn't come live for some health reasons, but we are good, we are better, and we are here tonight pumping. We will be talking about Sensate Focus, a step-to-step guide of finding pleasure without having intercourse. Now, the goal of Sensate Focus exercises, which was it was founded by a man called Masters and Johnson. Yes, it was developed. It's a technique developed by Masters and Johnson to encourage touch as a means of connection between couples, to help couples who are having difficulties sexually in their sexual life, to encourage touch between them rather than having the end goal in mind, to follow the process and to enjoy the process. Right. So today we'll be talking about sensate focus, both the genital and the non-genital sensate focus exercises. And we'll also be talking about tantric sex. Yes, these are the things we'll be talking about today. So I hope you're ready, ready, ready. Please do join live now and invite your family and friends to join live. Go live with you because it's gonna burn tonight. So, how was your week? Hope you had a wonderful week. I did. I had a very wonderful week, and I'm so excited to come to you live today. My name is Amamira Kulundonofita. I'm your coach on Sacred Unions and Desires. So let's give some few minutes for others to join in, and then we'll get right to what we have today. But I want to ask you, while we are waiting, have you been enjoying our classes? Have you been learning anything? I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who has asked others to subscribe, who has advertised on their status, told friends about it. Thank you so much for this beautiful work you're doing. Thank you for letting people know that there is solution for the sexual problems they have in their marriage, and they don't have to stay that way. They don't have to stay that way. I would always say it. There is no marriage in heaven. It all ends on the earth. And if it ends on the earth, why not get the full measure of pleasure from it, the full measure of result from it, so that there will be no regrets whatsoever eventually. So, hope you've been enjoying it. Thank you. Those of us that comment, it's very important that if you learn something, you comment on our channel. It will help us grow. It will help us get others interested in it, because they will know that something is going on here. We are not joking. We a mannequin. I wish there was a way I could demonstrate, but we're working towards that, the ability to demonstrate what we are doing physically so that you can see it. I'm not just talking. I don't believe in plenty talk. This is not church service. So we've had church service in the morning. Hope you went sha. This is not church service. So I would really love to practicalize what we are saying, show you so you see what it looks like. Because when we speak all this plenty English, some people might not understand exactly what we are saying. Right. So 1 minute more and we are there. So someone asked me, I made a post within the week. Someone asked me, Amara, why are you talking about sex? I thought you said rapture is close. And I asked the person, I said, are you still having sex in your marriage? And he said, yes. I said, so why would I stop talking about it? It's a gospel. It's a gospel in the marriage. It's a good thing in the marriage. So we'll keep talking about it, get better at it. The point is this: as believers, when your mind is settled, your spirit can lord it over your flesh. You know, the flesh is the major issue that the believer has. The flesh is the major challenge that the believer has. But when your mind is at rest, your mind can lord it, your spirit can then lord it over your flesh. And there are few things on earth that actually makes you relax, makes your mind go quiet as much as sex. Thank you. There are very few things on earth that makes your mind go as and as quiet as sex. I want to welcome my madam, the CEO herself. Thank you so much. Good evening, ma'am. So good to have you on the broadcast tonight. Thank you for being part of what we do. Thank you for all your support. I'm grateful. Thank you. Now, this kind of friend people suppose they have. You understand, friends that support what you do and are always there for you. Thank you, ma. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. So yes, our time is up and now we are going to go right into it. Sensate focus. They are structured therapeutic techniques designed to help couples overcome sexual difficulties by finding sensation, focusing on touch and sensation rather than performance. You are not focusing on whether I performed this way or that way. You're focusing on touch. You're focusing on sensations, which is what it is. Sex is really about the touch, the sensations. It's not about, like we always say, it's not about the end game. It's about the journey to the end game. So, step one, setting the stage. First, you have to choose a comfortable venue. Could be your bedroom, it could be your living room. In case you don't have kids running around, your kids are all grown and out, or they are still very small, so they stay where you keep them at night or during the day. So, you can use your sitting room or you can use your bedroom. Two, eliminate distractions. No phones, no TV. No phones, no TV. My pastor was talking today about how phones have destroyed marriages. And it is so true that phones have destroyed marriages, because you see couples, me inclusive, who will sit with their spouse or lie down with their spouse on the same bed and they don't talk to each other for 2 hours. Everybody is on their phone. Like, what the heck? Phones are destroying marriages. I'm telling you, phones are destroying marriages. And if we don't watch it on time, it is going to destroy our marriages, even as Christians. We have to have screen time. It's not only kids that should have screen time. Adults should have screen time too. Some others is watching Netflix on TV, watching Showtime on TV, or Z World on TV, and it takes hours and hours, and you do not have that kind of time to give to your spouse. Because when we talk about love making for 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, people are shouting, what will I be doing there? But you can be on your phone for 3 hours at a stretch, not bothered. You can be watching Netflix for 3 hours at a stretch, not bothered. So which is more important? Those things have no value to give to you. Someone will say, okay, but you're learning one or two things from it. Your marriage is still much more important. So eliminate distractions. When you get your desired comfortable space, you take away distractions. No phone, no TV. You can play your music. You must not play the music from your phone. Play the music from an MP3. If you need music, you like music for the session. Then I agree with your partner that the goal is exploration, not running to orgasm. We are starting with exploration first. We are starting with finding out first before moving on to orgasm or intercourse, as the case may be. So we are beginning with the non-genital touch, which is stage one. Now, this you can do while fully clothed or partially clothed. I don't understand why once couples enter the room, everybody puts their clothes and they are naked. Bam. What is the matter? Where are you rushing to? You're not Russians. You have to calm down, like undress each other. It's a blessing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's very exciting if you get to undress each other. And someone would now say, all this serere, must we do all this serere? Yes, so you must do all this serere sometimes if you really want to have something tangible. You must do all this serere sometimes, right? So after you have decided whether you're going half clothed or fully clothed, one of the partners, the man most especially, because remember we are talking about the woman here, the man will ask the woman to lie down. She lies down, and then he starts the exploration, he starts the touching, different strokes for different places. And her duty, her job is to enjoy it one, and then to tell him how she feels, when she feels, and where she feels it, right? And then after 10 to 15 minutes, you can switch places. So it's not just the woman that enjoys the whole touch thing. The man also has his own time to enjoy the touch. So you can switch roles after 10 to 15 minutes. So first, you have to create anticipation. We've talked about this earlier. Create anticipation from the morning of the day. From when you wake up, before you even leave your bedroom, start creating anticipation for what's going to happen later in the night. How do you create anticipation? By talking to each other. That's beautiful cuddle just before you wake up to pray. You know, those love messages you send during the day through email, WhatsApp, anyone, text messages, those calls, those naughty calls that you make during the day, those things create anticipation. You can't just do without them. You have to create desire. Remember that a woman is not moved by what she sees like the man. She's moved by what she hears over time, not even what she hears immediately, what she hears over time. So if you start prepping her from the morning, by night she'll be fully ready for you. But if you don't start prepping her from the morning, she won't be ready by night for you. So create anticipation, send emails, call and talk naughty. God is not angry with you. This is your wife, this is your husband, you paid for it. It's the same way all that Jesus paid for, we enjoy it without shame, we enjoy it without anything. Same way, this one you paid for, enjoy it without anything else, right? Now, let's have been married for quite a while. Maybe your kids are grown, you're not giving birth anymore, or you've been married for some years and you think, all this menge is not necessary. It is very necessary, because it is you that is even more necessary for. Because there is something my pastor used to say: see finish has entered. See finish don't enter the marriage, because more now you've been doing this do for 7 years, 14 years, 15 years, 18 years. So what's special? Everything is special until we leave the earth. Every day is special, every day is different. No 2 days are alike, because no 2 days are alike, no two sexual experiences are alike. So especially the husband, you have a work to do. Do not make your wife think that, we've done everything, gone everywhere, finished everything, so what's the big deal? No, you still need to flirt with her, you still need to send those sweet words to her. She needs to hear them. So long as we are still on earth and you're still sexually active, she still needs those things that you were giving her when you first married her. If you want that woman you married, because most times at this level of marriage, most people look for their spouses, they can't find them anymore. What they find is Daddy Nkem and Mama Obiora. That's what they find in their houses. They can't find the sweet man and the sweet woman they married. And you're wondering what happened. This is what happened. Well, you allowed the romance in your marriage, the excitement in your marriage to die because your kids are grown. You're not having kids anymore. So who cares, right? So no, you have to still pay attention to creating desire for your woman, to sending those messages. You have to still pay attention to those calls. You have to still pay attention. If you write love notes, you can write love notes and put where the person can find them. Please don't think that this thing is white people something. It's not white people something. No, that is the reason why. You know why we don't know that probably we are having more divorce than the white people? It's because we have no statistics, we have no data. If they collect data, we might be shocked that we are having more divorces, more broken homes than white people. It's just that nobody is saying all of it. Because the rate at which marriages are breaking up every day, it's amazing. Some at the altar, some 2 months after, some 2 years after. It's crazy. And a lot of them would have been saved if they had knowledge, the right knowledge. And they will call it, like I said, they will call it irreconcilable differences. Meanwhile, it's sexual issues they are having, but they are calling it irreconcilable differences because in Africa, sex is still a taboo topic. Nobody still wants to talk about it. That is what we are changing. And we are changing it because we as believers have been given the mandate to change things in the world to conform with our kingdom. And in our kingdom, there is no cheating. In our kingdom, there is no bitterness and frustration. So we'll make sure to end those things in our marriages by doing the right things at the right time. So yes, even if you've been married for donkey years, you still need to create anticipation in your spouse so that by the night your spouse will be ready. It's not that thing that they used to do in the night. You just draw her wrapper. What's that? What's that? That's so 1860, right? That's so 1860. This is 2025. If you're still having sex in 2025, it means you're not above 80. So you should do things the right way. Okay. So after you've created anticipation, create attraction. The first way to create attraction is eye contact. There are spouses that have never looked into each other's eyes. It's so funny. You know why it's funny? Because someone told me, Amara, look into each other's eyes again. That one is for movie people or for white people. Why do we always keep the good things for white people? Why do you always say it's for movie people? The good things. We watch it and we watch it and we like them. But when it comes to practice, we say it's for white people. Where did they write it? In which law? In which principle? So yes, using eye contact. After all, na eye contact una take first like una sef. Before he chiked you, he used eye contact first. He used his eyes to eat before his mouth started talking. So you still use your, haven't you noticed that when you look into your wife's eyes for a while, she blushes, like she starts blushing, like she's agitated, she's tensed. Yeah, you can create attraction, create anticipation by looking into each other's eyes. It's not every time you just pass, like, there is no attraction between the both of you. How do you build chemistry? Eyes. Remember, they said the eyes are the window to the soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Through the eyes, you see what the soul is saying. So you love me, I want to see it in your eyes. What's that song? Look into my eyes, you will see what you mean to me, and all of that. So looking into the eyes is important. Please, it's not an Oyibo thing. It's not for Ndocha. It's for you too, as an African. So hold eye contact with each other. It helps to build attraction through the day, not just at night, through the day, before you now come back at night and get ready properly. All right, so let's look at the basics. Remember, we are talking about sensate focus exercises. We've already outlined the steps the exercise will take. Let's look at the processes itself now. First is relaxation. You need to get your woman to relax. You need to get her to relax. There are 3 stages to this relaxation. One is the physical relaxation, like stop thinking, stop talking, just breathe. Just stay there and breathe, relax, right? Second is relaxing the energy. Everybody has an energy that comes from them. Everybody has an aura. You're getting it to relax. Relax the person's aura. Relax your wife's energy. That ginger, if you married someone like me, who is always gingering, and never quiet, you can now have to get me to be quiet and calm. Yeah, that's the second part of relaxation. And then the third part is the relaxation of the mind and the senses. You do this through touch or communication. You start talking to the person. You start asking questions, the right questions. How was your day? How are you feeling? Is anything bothering you? Right? Those are the kind of communications you do at this time so that she can talk. And don't take the talk for too long. Don't let it take the time. But women now, the more they talk, the more they relax. The more they talk, the more they are calm. So give her some time to express how her day was, how whatever happened during her day, talk to her and remove that mental stress from her through talking. At this stage, um you also help her moderate her breathing. Let her breathe in and out. She breathes in through the nose, let her breathe out through the mouth. The more she does that, the more her brain relaxes and sends signals to her body to start relaxing, to stop the fight or flight mode which we go about during the day. In an economy like ours, people go about during the day in fight or flight mode. Is it that we are fighting or we are running? So you need to get all those feelings away from her. So let's look at the three-step formula for relaxation. First is set the stage. Remember, create an enabling environment. Remember the lighting we talked about. Remember the scented candles. Remember the music, right? Just set an environment that someone steps into and the person just wants to sit down, close their eyes, and forget about the world. Create that kind of environment. The second formula is having a bath together, right? When you come back from work, when you come back from wherever you went to and it's night, why don't you have a bath together? I don't know couples that don't bath together. Is it that your bathroom is small? Is it that your bathroom is small, or you just don't know that bathing together has a magic that it creates in your marriage? I don't understand it. Like, one of the things I looked out for when I look for a house is a big bathroom for the master's bedroom, because I want to be bathing together with this guy, right? There's this bonding that bathroom does. We've not even talked about the doing the do inside the bathroom. We are talking about having a bath together. It's very relaxing, it's very romantic, it's very exciting. So yes, it's one of the steps for relaxation. You can have a bath together, talk while you're bathing, touch each other's body while you're bathing, right? And this is for two reasons. One, you relax. And when we're talking about bathing, we're talking about bathing with warm water. If you use cold water, it will kill all the desire. Warm water has this soft feel. It makes you feel secure. It makes you feel like you're in la la land. You know, that's what warm water does. Cold water brings out all the aggression in you, brings out all your senses. They are sharp. We don't want sharp senses for this period. For these exercises, we need you to be slow. We need you to be calm. We need you to be relaxed, to be safe and secure, you know. So yes, have a warm bath together. And the other reason why we also have the shower is cleanliness. Like, during the day you've sweated, your private part has sweated, there is heat everywhere, you've used the restroom, there might be tissues stuck in your anus somewhere, or um there might your vagina might have some little drops of urine when you urinated and probably didn't clean well. So generally, cleanliness, you need to be clean so that you can smell fresh, feel fresh, everywhere is fresh, and you're good to go. Nothing will spoil the mood. No smell will spoil the mood. No dirt will spoil the mood. And also remember to consistently and constantly shave is a good thing. Please shave. Thank you. Especially men. You know, women pay more attention to grooming their private parts than men. Please, men, we beg you in the name of Jesus Christ. We don't want to be entering forest. Please shave. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right? So once you're done with the bathing, which is the first step, you now go into massages. You now go into massages. Once you're done with the bathing, you go into massages. Remember that you do massage with oil, not just plain hands, because the hands will cause friction on the person's body. So it's very, very advisable to use massage oil, or to use baby oil, or to use grapeseed oil. These are the kinds of oils you can use for your massage. And at this point, I would like to advise that you have a large towel that you can put on your bed sheets, because you're going to use oil and you're going to have fluids coming out at some points, right? You don't want to destroy your bed sheets. And bed sheets, they are big, they are large, right? So it's not something you want to be washing all the time. So you don't want to do that. Why don't you buy a big towel that you can spread on the bed sheet to protect the bed sheet while you do your business? It will be soft and flowery like a blanket. Put it on the bed so it can protect your bed sheet while you start your massage. I hope we're getting something. I hope I'm making sense. I really, really do hope I'm making sense. Right. So, how do you give massages? A lot of men do not give their wives massage, but they want the woman to come and stand on top of their back because their back is paining them, or their waist is paining them. She should come and sit down on it. Please, massages are important in your sexual life. I'm not even talking about releasing tension. Massages are important in your sexual life. One of one of my mumu buttons is massage, you know. When you have asked and I say no, just try massage. It might just end you la la land. Reserved for one person alone. But seriously, massage will do wonders for your sexual life in your marriage. So when you're massaging, look for lumps, knots around the body, those things that look like lumps, and then quietly press them, allow them to dissolve and dissipate. Those are what you are focusing on. Those are what you're going to be removing with the massage. Like I said, let her focus her attention on breathing in and out. Focus your attention, dear woman, on breathing in and out. Stop looking around. Don't do there. You are the one receiving the touch this time. So please keep your hand one place. Don't be in a hurry, and don't be throwing your leg up and down. Calm down. Any small touch where they touch you, your body don't they sweet you pass anything. Calm down. Because inside that sweeting, you've still not orgasm. You're just throwing leg up and down and jumping everywhere. Calm down and receive the touch from the Lord. So, yes, focus on breathing, focus on the present, focus on the person who is with you, focus on the love you share, focus on the emotions running through the both of you at that time. So, the general rule for massaging is to massage towards the heart, to the direction of the heart, anywhere you're massaging. There are different kinds of massage strokes. We have the gliding, the ones you glide on the person's body. You have the kneading, the one you knead as if you want to bake bread. That dough they used to bake bread, the way they knead it, that's the way you do massage. Then you have the friction strokes where you use your fingertips to make circular movements. You use your fingertips to make circular movements, especially for the scalp, right? So where do you massage and how do you massage? You're going to be looking at the different parts of the body that you can massage and how you should massage them. Remember, our goal is not orgasm. Our goal here is to get as much sensation, to get as much pleasure from touch as possible before we will go to orgasm, if we want the orgasm, right? You find out with this exercise, you find out that you don't need to stay 1 hour on top of anybody. You don't need to be a 2 hours minute man or 2 hours man. You don't need to stress yourself trusting endlessly inside the lady, because you would have achieved all the orgasm that she wants to have and she's able to have before the penetration itself sets in. So let's look at the places you need to massage and how to massage them. Hope we are making sense. Hope we are making sense. Woo! Pastor Casey in the house. I will not tell you what your wife told me. Thank you, Pastor Casey. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Your wife told me something. I'll tell you out of the camera. In short, Ochim warning. Ochim ezigbo warning. I'll talk about it out of the camera. Thank you so much for joining, sir. So we are talking about massages. This is not just ordinary massage that the person is feeling body pain. That one is different. Those kind of massages are different. They are not sweet. They are not sweet. They are not soft, But these ones we are talking about are. So the first place you start with is the scalp. You start with the scalp. So you put your fingers this way and then you touch, move circular movements on the scalp, right? Occasionally run your hand through the person's hair if there is hair. If there is hair that can be touched, if it's all these wigs and all that, you cannot touch the scalp through it. Or if you can, run your hand through the person's hair. While you keep doing that circular motion, it helps the person relax. That's for scalp massage. Then you move to the earlobes. You move to the earlobes, right? Behind the ear, you touch from behind the ear. You can nibble on it, you can kiss it, you can use your hand to touch with your thumb and your first finger. You use it to touch the earlobes and massage them. Okay? Then next one is the neck and shoulders. Now you move to the neck and shoulders. So by this time, you have her lay down on her stomach. You have her lay down on her stomach, and then you start working on her neck and shoulders, the neck and the shoulders. You start massaging, kneading them. These ones, you knead them like you're kneading dough, right? Knead, pressing, put some pressure on the neck and the shoulders to remove whatever knots, whatever muscle tension. And as you're doing that, you feel the tension going away, really. As you're touching, you're molding, you're kneading, all those knots that are there, all those tiredness, you feel it leaving the person. And the person is relaxing the more. The person is relaxing the more and opening up to touch, because with all that we have to go through, there are a lot of knots, there are a lot of lumps in our muscles that needs to be taken out, right? So after you're done with the neck and shoulders, then you move to the back. Remember, our oil is working. You use the oil so that it will be smooth. There will be no friction. There will be no hurting the person. Okay, don't use your rough hands. Don't use your hands just that way. You use oil. So when you get to the back, just glide through the back, from top down, glide down, up and down on the back. As you're going, start from the top of her back, from the top of the neck, work your way all through the back to the lower back. Focus on kneading the back with enough oil to suit into her skin. Gently, oh, don't make it rough. Gently, gently, in Jesus' name. You're not, even if you're a bricklayer, even if you're a bricklayer, gently. So glide gently, on the back. From the back, you move to the ass, you move to the buttocks, Each of your hands, two hands, should be on the two different parts of the buttocks, one on this side, one on this side. And then as you knead, you also make circular movements. Make sure that there is enough oil on it. Position yourself so that you're facing, sit across her body and be backing her head, so that your eye is facing her buttocks and you can see her vagina. So at this point, knead the buttocks. You can, cube it and, press it. Put some pressure. It is interesting. It is exciting, right? As you're doing it, you can also glide your hands on her thighs, inside the thighs, in between the thighs. From the buttocks, you glide your hand down there and come back up. Remember that this thing you're doing, you're creating sensations. You're using touch to create sensations. This person at this time, there is no woman that at this time is not turned on. There is no woman at this time that will not be wet, right? So you keep going as long as you can. And then from the ass, you go down to her legs. You go down past the calves, knead the calves, go down to her legs and down to her foot. When you get to her foot, the most important place is that ball behind, between the heel and that ball on the ankle. That area is always very tense, especially for women like us who wear heels. That is a very good place to give a massage. That's a very good place. So gently knead that area and move on towards the toes. Move on to the toes. You can stretch the toes a little and then rub them gently, right, with your oil. Then you go to the back of the legs. And gently massage the back of the legs. Go up and down, right? From there, you now go back to the buttocks. Remember, we are not touching anything inside. You're not choking hand inside anywhere. You're not fingering anything. You're not touching any breast. You're not touching any vagina. You are just doing the periphery, every other part minus the genitals. We are looking at the non-genitalia touch. Every other part minus the genitals. So you put pressure on the buttocks and allow the oil to flow inside the crack. When it flows inside the crack, run your hands through it. That is very pleasurable for the woman. After you're done, Then you can tell her to turn over. Remember, she was on her stomach while you're doing all the behind work. Then you can tell her to turn over and then come over to her chest and the top of her chest. You start from here. You start massaging this way. Move everywhere around here. Everywhere around here, massage it. Pass the breast, massage the stomach, from the stomach, top abdomen down. Massage it. Right. At this point, you might want to now move to completely nude, right? In case you were wearing some clothes before, at this point, you might want to move to completely nude so that you see space to see what you're doing, right? So you move to completely nude and then still continue the touches, no penetration. From time to time, you switch roles. It's not just going to be on one person. It's not just going to be on one person. So you check 10-15 minutes, let her do the same thing to you. By this time, both of you, your bodies are slippery. The oil is there and it's doing its work. You are relaxed. You are giving and you are taking. There is so much sensation going on. There is so much pleasure being passed around. From here now, you can now move to her genitals. You can move to each other's genitals after you've done the non-genital part. There is no way both of you will not be aroused at this time. Absolutely no way you will not be aroused at this time. So then you go to the breasts. First, you cup the breasts with your hands. And then the way you mold your eba, the way you mold your eba, you don't mold your eba hard, you mold it softly. The same way you can mold the breasts the same way. Continue to stroke it and tease it. You can touch the nipples, pinch it, you know. You can also suck on it if you want, right? And it's very sensitive. For most women, their breasts are sensitive. So at this point, you are working on the breasts. When you do that, when you stroke, when you kiss, when you lick, when you nibble, when you pinch, you see her stroke arcing her back. You know, her body is reacting. I don't understand why if you say your woman lies down like a log of wood when you make love to her, not when you do these things, it's impossible. It's practically impossible. What you're doing to her is not love making. What you're doing is climb on top, you come down, you go away. Because when you go through this process, there is no way she will not be ready for you. There is no way. And all these things you are describing does not take so much time. We did not say touch stomach 5 minutes, touch head 7 minutes. No, flow at your discretion. Flow at your discretion. Might not take more than 10-15 minutes, all these things we are describing. And that's why you understand that people who know better tend to take more time when they make love. They don't do 2 minutes and run out, right? Remember that video that I sent within the week? Your wife doesn't call you a 1 minute man because you spend 1 minute. It's because you don't give her orgasms. You don't give her sensations that turn her world around. So this is the way for you to do it. So that in doing this, you get some quality time together. It's not a fast thing. It's not a fast food. It's not an Indomie generation thing, right? Hope we are getting something. So from the breast, you now move to the belly. From the breast, you now move to the belly. Glide your hand down over the belly. From the top down, you keep gliding your hand. Put different types of strokes. You can put strokes, light feathered strokes, or you can make it a little bit harder. With your thumb facing the center of the abdomen, you keep rubbing towards the rib cage. Touch the whole abdomen from top to down. As you're doing it, glide your hands up and down. You're getting down towards her local government. I don't even know why they call all those kind of funny names. You're getting down towards the vagina. Now, remember we said the moon pubis, that mound on top, the mound on top, the mound where the pubic hair grows. You are coming down towards it. Your hand will glide over it. From there, touch her inner thigh, touch the different parts. But still, there is no penetration. All these things we are doing, what makes you think she wouldn't have had orgasm since? Like, you're delivering. You're delivering sensations. You're delivering pleasure. You're delivering excitement. You're delivering emotions, right? By this time, she no go fit talk. She will be speaking in tongues. She will be able to say your name again. So you continue your gliding from the mon pubis, you come down, and then at this point, this is where you get to the labia. Remember, the labia is those two sides that cover the vagina, those two fleshy things that cover the vagina inside. Here, she will be pretty wet by now, and then you're able to grab the labia and pinch them. Now, what happens when you pinch the labia is that it goes to touch the clitoris. When you pinch the labia, it goes to touch the clitoris. So you're doing two things at the same time. You're stimulating both the clitoris and the labia. Remember, our oil is still working. Oh, our oil is still working. Still put the oil, even if she's wet and all that, still use the oil on her body so that there is no roughness. Okay. So touch the labia. By now, for some time, by now she'll be completely relaxed, super aroused, and ready. She go, have you gotten to that point where your woman is begging you, oh yeah, now, please now, come inside me, because yeah, no, I've had enough torture. That is what we are aiming at. That is what we're aiming at. The point where she will beg. She's so ready, she's so relaxed. There is no way, like orgasm is knocking at the door. Bah, bah, bah. You don't need to do much anymore. When you go through all this process, she will be so ready. That's if she hasn't orgasmed severally before. So step 4, the touching continues until both of you are ready for intercourse, if there needs to be, because you could still get your orgasms from these touches, and you wouldn't need to have intercourse or any penetration whatsoever. Remember, while all this is happening, you have to maintain eye contact. You have to maintain eye contact. You have to keep attention to your breathing. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, and also be present, be there. Don't be thinking about something else. Your whole mind, every part of you, your spirit, soul, and body should be there. The way you keep your spirit, soul, and body when you're listening to the word of God, the way you keep your spirit, soul, and body when you're praying or you're worshiping, keep your spirit, soul, and body on that bed in that bedroom when you are touching your spouse. It is not less important. Like we said, sex is a form of worship at the altar of your spouse. So make it special. The way you make worship special, make this particular worship special. Don't think it is less, because so long as you're in this flesh, you are still in this flesh. Sex is something that could make or mar your marriage. Is the truth. Some of you, you said our mothers were not this bothered about sex. Our fathers, they were not bothered, because after all, how many African children have ever caught their parents having sex? You don't catch them, because it's almost like they don't do it. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything. Even those that live in 2 rooms will for years never know anything. I don't know how they manage it though. Because as far as I'm concerned, they are not enjoying sex. There is no way that you will not hear shouting one of the nights. If you never heard 15 years, 16 years, 18 years, you left their house, omo, your parents are not enjoying their marriage. I'm telling you. Some of them have resigned to fate because they've tried over years. It was not interesting, especially the women. For the men, it's always easier because ejaculation is faster. But for the women, maybe she has tried to get to be aroused. She has tried to get some pleasure from it, get some orgasm from it, and it has not worked over the years. So she gave up. So everybody just turns to roommates. Not with this exercise. Try this exercise, and believe me, even if you've been married for 20 years, your love will rekindle faster than anything else, right? So yes, maintain eye contact, be there, and monitor your breathing. Monitor your breathing. Now, there is what we call the 3 before me rule. The before me rule. I'm talking to men here now. There is what we call the before me rule, and it says that you should give your woman at least, yeah, at least 3 orgasms before taking your own. You should give your woman at least 3 orgasms before taking your own. You know why? Because one, her own takes a longer time, your own takes a shorter time. And two, if you're generous enough and patient enough to give her the orgasm, she will repay you back in quantum. She will do anything and everything to please you, because female orgasms is not something that a lot of people know how to do. So it's difficult. A lot of women don't experience it. And they talk about it. Women talk about these things sometimes, right? So when you give it to your woman, there is no man that can woo her. It will be very difficult. To be very difficult to follow another man, even if he has money. Even if he has money. Like I told us earlier, there are people that remain married because of good sex. They just say, I no go fit find this thing outside. We dey here, we don't die in our kingdom. So we live here, right? So yes, if you would work on giving her 3 orgasms, maybe one, maybe two, maybe 10, right? Remember, we said women can have multiple orgasms at the same time. So if you focus on giving her that you have a satisfied wife, you have a happy family, you have anything and everything. So the 3 orgasms, if you can make it three, beautiful. The 3 orgasms: first is the clitoral orgasm, second the G-spot orgasm, third blended orgasm. The blended orgasm is a cross between the clitoral orgasm and the G-spot orgasm. So let's start with the clitoral orgasm. Remember, the clitoris is very sensitive. We've talked about this. It's a very sensitive part of the vagina. So stimulating it, now, stimulating the clitoris does something else. Apart from giving maximum pleasure, it also wakens the G spot, right? So you're getting value for two at the same time while doing one thing. So when you stimulate the clitoris and she orgasms, then you can move on to the G spot stimulation so that the clitoris can help. Because as much sensitive as the clitoris is, it can lose sensitivity quickly. So you don't just stay there and be touching the thing, pressing the thing, rubbing the thing until the thing has now lost sensitivity and the person gets irritated by it. No. Once you're able to stimulate it enough to give the woman an orgasm, you move on to the G spot so that the clitoris can rest, right? You move on to the G spot. Remember, we talked about how to find your G spot. I hope you have been able to find the G spot on your wife or your partner. I hope you've been able to do that, because it will do you a whole lot of good. It will save you stress when you know where to go. You know the button to press. You go straight and press it. Not be snooping in the dark, looking for something, looking for needle in a haystack. Oyibo. So you go for it straight if you know where to find it. So after the G-spot orgasm, then you can do the blended, both of them, stimulate both of them at the same time. By the time you're so done with all these things, tell me why she will not give you anything you ask. Respect will flow naturally. Women have had a lot of bad sex, oh, hey, Jesus. Women have had a lot of bad sex over time. So if you can give your wife a good sex, she will respect you, I'm telling you. Because she will hear her friends telling their own stories. How Omo is not like anything. It's not like anything. I don't feel anything. Her respect for you, but she not going to talk to you anyhow. It's not only money that brings respect. Good sex and ability to give your woman orgasm brings brings respect in your marriage too. So you want respect, you want honor, you want to be treated like a king, treat her like a queen, give her orgasms, and you will get the benefits of orgasms. Right. Hope we are following. Hope we are learning something. All right. So these classes are not going to be exceeding 1 hour. They are not going to be exceeding 1 hour. So that it won't be too much for those who come back for replay. So we'll be limiting them to 1 hour. Wherever we stop, the next Sunday will continue. So long as we have Sundays till rapture, we'll be having sacred unions and desires. So we are supposed to go into tantric sex, but that's going to take us at least 30 to 40 minutes. It will take us at least 30 to 40 minutes, and we have just barely 7 minutes on the clock. So we are going to be stopping here for today, and then next Sunday we'll start from tantric sex. All these things I'm scrolling, it's quite a lot, because after talking about it, we'll talk about troubleshooting, common challenges that you can face during tantric sex. So remember that the goal is not orgasm per se, is not performance, actually, not just orgasm. The goal is not performance. The goal is being able to achieve pleasure together. The goal is being able to achieve a connection that is beyond the physical together. You know, when the Bible says both become one flesh. It is a connection that is beyond the physical. That connection is beyond the physical. Is a margin of blood, is a margin of water from each other's body, you know, is a margin of DNAs. Right? Yes, because at sex, during sex, you exchange DNAs, is the truth. You exchange DNAs through the fluids that come out from you. So all these things bond you together. That's why God will say, do not join yourself to a harlot. And when the Bible is talking about harlot, it's not talking about prostitute on the street. It's talking about anybody who is not your spouse is a harlot, both male and female. It's not just female, both male and female. Anybody who is not your spouse is a harlot. So when the Bible says, do not join yourself to an harlot, it's talking about anyone who is not your partner. The Bible talked about adultery, the bed being undefiled. That's why you have to. Sticking to one thing is difficult. I'm not going to lie, right? You know, when those guys, those very bad guys, will ask, will I eat onubu soup for the rest of my life? Why should I eat egusi soup for the rest of my life? Sticking to one thing is difficult. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of work, right? So if you're going to make it interesting for yourself, then sticking to one person, sticking to your spouse will not be difficult. It will not be a chore to do. It will not be a job to do. It will not be work, right? When you make it exciting, take your marriage serious, invest in your marriage, invest time, invest knowledge, invest riches into your marriage, and see it blossom. And because your marriage blossoms, every other part blossoms. If you see all these billionaires that we know, most of them had very long marriages. It's all these Gen Z that you see them separating from their spouses, divorcing, even though they have wealth, they are very wealthy and all that. But if you check the old money, they stayed with their wives, they built together, they had a connection way beyond just being married to each other, right? So, yes, we are going to start with tantric sex next week Sunday. That's where we're going to start from. And then we are going to start, we're going to talk about how do you know that this woman is excited? How do you know that she has reached the plateau? How do you know what she is like pre-orgasm, during orgasm? How do you know these things? Remember, I said if a woman fakes orgasm for you and you do not find out, it's because you don't want to find out, because there are ways to know. So you're going to know how she looks like at these different stages of her sexual response cycle. You're also going to know what to do during pre-orgasm and what to do during orgasm. There are some people, some men, you are doing one thing, she's enjoying it and she's very close to orgasm, you will change. Why, oga, why? How could you, right? And she just loses everything. She has to start building from the scratch. Women's orgasm is very flimsy, very flimsy, can easily be lost. Just one single thought, a word or an action will make her lose her train, and then she has to start building all over again. It's very frustrating. So we're going to talk about what you, the man, are supposed to do during orgasm and pre-orgasm. And then we're going to talk about the most important phase, of sexual intercourse. The most important phase. All these things we've talked about, I'm going to tell us the one that is the most important phase in all of them. And I know you'll be surprised, you'll be shocked. You will not believe that is that one. Is actually the most important phase. Thank you so much for staying with me. Hope we've learned something today. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you have not, and invite your family and friends to join us and learn one or two things. If you have any question, please do ask in the comment section. And please, if you enjoyed this class, do make a comment. Leave a comment for us under this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week, Sunday. Thank you. My name is Amamira Komondonovit, and I remain your coach for Sacred Unions and Desires. It's 2 minutes to 9. We actually finished at the time we said we would. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you next Sunday by 8 p.m.